Welcome everyone to day 21. That's a great number. I think we all probably like is 21. And so today we're going to talk about a new sense of freedom of 21. And that is the word that starts with S, and it is the word of succeed or success, because I really think they're interchangeable words. And so for any viewer today, I want to welcome a visitor. We have Rhonda Sciortino. And she is an amazing lady, an amazing speaker with an amazing message, but particular to our word and letter for today of success. So Rhonda, can you tell us a little bit about your perception of the word succeed or success, and then kind of how you came to value that word? We'd love to hear it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. Well, I used to think that success was fame. You know, Hollywood would tell us that success is fame and having a million Twitter followers or whatever. And Wall Street would tell us that success is a whole lot of money. And so I think I sort of fell into that. I think we tend to all think of success in terms of working our way up the corporate ladder or working our way up to, you know, being on the big screen or whatever it is. And I realized along the way in my journey that success for me was very, very different from any of that stuff. I came to believe that real success, authentic success, is 5 different points. So it's having good relationships, like healthy relationships with good people, and good health. So you have to have health enough to be able to enjoy whatever you have in your life and the people you have in your life.
It's true.
Peace is the third one. And I didn't even know what peace was. I had a lot of chaos. In fact, I found out later that I created a lot of my own chaos and drama is what I mean by that. So when you eliminate the drama and you have peace, that's success. The fourth is joy. Joy is, I think, for a lot of people, synonymous with happiness, but it's not. Happiness is determined by external circumstances. Joy is internal. So you can be in the midst of an ugly situation or a sad situation and still have joy. In fact, you bring the joy and you bring the peace. And then the last one is financial provision. And notice I didn't say wealth. The fifth point of real success is enough money, because we do need money in this life. The light company wants the light bill paid, and the grocery store expects us to pay before we walk out.
True.
So we have to have enough money to do what we were born to do, what we were created to do. So when you have all 5 points of real success, then you've got it. Then you have success. Then you can succeed in your life every day of your life. Because when you measure against the things that really, really matter, our relationships, our health, our peace, our joy, our provision, and the fulfillment of our purpose, well, what else is there?
That's right. Well, and Rhonda, as I'm going to bring in this screen that kind of talks about some of the things I think you just emphasized, can you show us and tell us why I'm pulling this up? You have a book that talks about this, and just a blurb real quick of where you kind of learn this in your heart and soul, and that depth of where you give this message from. Could you show us those two things?
I have it. Wait, I have it. I actually have 2 books that have success in the title. I think you're talking about this one, Succeed Because of What You've Been Through. And this one is Successful Survivors. This is the character traits of successful survivors. So this was really my first book. It was retitled for general purposes. The first one was called From Foster Care to Millionaire, and I wrote that for foster kids. And it really just talks about acquiring the 5 points of prosperity, or what I now call real success. So this book came as a result of just my life experiences of, my parents left when I was very young. I was raised by very abusive people in poverty, and I emancipated from the foster care system when I was 16 years old. And I took the things that I learned in my life in those painful experiences, and I used those things to create success.
Right.
So I believe, and that's what's in this book, that everybody can do that. It's not just me. It's whatever we've been through in our life. We can mine the lessons out of it and the character traits and the ways that we survived painful experiences. And it turns out those are exactly the things that we need in order to fulfill the purpose
Right.
for which we were born. It's actually a pretty good system. So in fact, you know what, Amber, I would love to just give this book and the workbook that goes along with it to any of your viewers who would like to have it for free. And they can get it on my website. Yeah. If they use the coupon code COVID, see what I did there? Trying to make a kind of a good thing out of a yucky thing.
That's right.
So on my website, rhonda.org, you have it up on the screen. And if they go there, I think it's the tab shop where my books are, there's this book and the workbook, and put in the coupon code COVID. I'm going to send them this book, and it'll just walk them through exactly how to succeed because of what they've been through.
That's awesome. I love, Rhonda, that you have a story that matches your message, which really allows me to kind of be able to take it in and be successful in my own way, because I think every viewer is equipped to be successful, and just having to make that plan and have that belief and that hope, which is really what this Hope Project's about, is believing that they can do that. And so on kind of the notes for today, for any viewers, I do have her website on there, and do definitely go check it out. I myself, woohoo, have definitely read that book and could do that workbook time and time again, and probably should, along with my Hope Project. So just remembering a few things, Rhonda, that you were talking about. It's success is a broad word. It's different for each of us, but it's still the same path more to success is the same path. The end result may be different. And so it's really based on our perception. It can be gained from our experience. And I think you really emphasize that in the title of that first book, but also with the second one, that we have challenges, but we can still be successful and not consent to bad things happening, but regaining that power within us. And it's not a competition. I don't compete with you, you don't compete with others, or vice versa in success, because it's an individual success with a group process. And anybody that's checking this out, this is kind of her message on here: succeeding because of what you've been through. And she did mention relationships, which, Rhonda, I don't know if you knew this, but yesterday, I know you've been following the Hope Project, was R for relationships. So that's kind of funny. All right. So on the journal today, what I'm going to encourage you all to do, if you've been listening to Miss Rhonda and this message today, is really reflect on what you grew up believing was success, and compare that to how maybe your perception of success is today. Challenge that belief and decide if you're still aligned with it or not. And then in your journal, think about some things you identify as successful accomplishments for yourself. You can write that out in words, or Rhonda, sometimes you might be a person like me that just bullets out some of those things and writes out what was successful for you. And then really identify 3 things about yourself that equip you to be successful, whatever you define as success, and then plan to use one of those this week. Sometimes we get so overwhelmed by so much, and so much of life, and all of our goals and expectations and challenges maybe that, Rhonda, you've talked about. We have to kind of tunnel it down to that one thing to get our plan rolling into action. So that's the challenge we're going to ask you all to do for the Hope Project this week. All right, Miss Rhonda, we're so glad you came and talked to us about success and succeeding and how they're interchangeable. We're going to be excited to hear a little bit more about what people do when they check out your book. And everybody with the Hope Project, we're going to be seeing you tomorrow. Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye.